Welcome back to the course. In the last lecture, we covered on creating regions and the importance of a global page, and now we'll just dive to the remaining components of the page rendering part, which is the buttons and the page items. So before that, I need to cover one important concept in global page. I will give a case when we just sign out of this page. It is redirecting me to another page as well, which is a part of this application. So you can see a global page is rendered here as well. Most of the times for assignment page, we don't want to reveal the content here. Maybe it might be a company's logo or company's copyright or something. Those can be rendered, but major cases we won't. So for this, avoiding this rendering in sign-in page, we need to add a condition to avoid this render. So we have this option in Oracle Apex at the region level. So we go to this region, we have an option called server-side condition. So everything is collapsed. In the server-side condition, we have this type. It shows some multiple options with many conditions. So for now, we are just focusing on the page level condition part. So you have to scroll down to current page. So current page, we are focusing on only one page that need not be rendered. So that is current page not equal to page. So we have to remember the page number of the sign-in page. So that is 9999. So if we fill 9999 and save it, so that means except 9999, all pages will be rendered. So as you can see, it works well, but we'll just cross check. So I'm signing in. I'm sure it is rendered even for page 2 as well. So it's just affecting the 999 page, which matches the condition, and it's not rendered. So we'll just jump into the components part, which is the buttons and the page items. So here, before creating a page item, I'll create a region. So here we'll just create a region by the name main. I'll just leave it empty for now, and we'll run and see. If I go to that form, you can see this main with the empty content. So for a button, we will click on create button. It prompts me a name and the label. So we'll give a name like BT, which is for button, and label is what it displays as a prompt. BT is just a prefix, so like I said, for a button. And we have this region, which is mandatory. So if you have a page item or a button, it cannot be like outside a region, like hanging somewhere in the blank area. It should have a region that's a part of a Apex design. It should be in a container. So it's mandatory here. So we have to select some region here. And as you can see, this home and main, which is a part of this page, and global is part of the global page, because global page is a component and it's a region here. So if we want to select, I will just select the region main, which is our new region. And if we want to change the position, where there's an option here, it's below region by default. So for a quick understanding in this graphical representation, you can go to this layout, and as you can see, this BT_add is placed here in this main region. So these are all the positions of this button. If you want to place this BT_add somewhere in this position like create, it will automatically change to create here. So that's the concept of this layout, which is useful for us now. So I'm just saving, and if you just see now with refresh, and as you can see, add button is added, and then we will create one page item in this region as well. So what is page item? A page item is a HTML component in Oracle Apex. So HTML component in the sense is like those input elements, which are text field, checkbox, or select list, or the radio buttons. All these are HTML components which we have seen as an input elements, even checkbox. We can't say that as a text input element, and there are a lot of things here. So if we see this type, we can see a lot of options out there, starting from the checkbox to the text area. And we have this like the date picker, color picker, file browse, shutter. All these are components which is a HTML input, and this term is used as a page item in Oracle Apex. So if we select this, By default it's text field, so we'll create a page item with text field type for now, and we'll give a name. If we just give new, it would be labeled as new, so I'm giving some name, so the label will be name. And as I said earlier, even the region is important here as well, so it's mandatory. So I'm selecting the main region here as well. Now it will be part of this main region. As you can see, the tree hierarchy, a main region having items with page item here, and then with region buttons, button is created. So this hierarchy will be very useful when you want to switch between and understand how it is. And we'll click on save, and if I refresh, so as you can see, this text field is created, and we'll just enter something. It's our choice to type anything now, and it won't submit. I mean, there's no link between this page item and the database. No data processing is happening for now. If we click on this add button, by default it submits. That means it's performing a submit action as defined. You can see submit page over here. We have another option also, that is redirecting to URL or defining the dynamic action. Those options will cover later on if we have many components installed. As of now, we are just focusing on the rendering part and how the button and the page item is displayed. So we'll focus on that later on with other components as well, including the text area when we saw page item and checkbox, and a lot of things that needs to be covered when we create a final application. And if we go to this demo, and as you can see, this heading is distracting me and I don't want this heading. If we don't want, we have an option of quick edit in this bottom developer toolbar. You can click on quick edit and just highlights this area, and I can select the settings. This loads a pop-up of live template options. It is the same option which you can see in Page Designer, but here it will be applied instantly. If in Page Designer you have to save it there and you have to refresh and run again, but here it's applied to the particular region alone. The request of changes is automatically fetched and written here with the latest changes, and this is actually very good. If you have a lot of regions, we can use this quick edit for development. So that's the overview of the page item and the button at the basic level. So we'll cover further things and brief understanding of all regions in the next lecture.